and Heidi was saying, like Donna and Heidi have been saying, often, you know, people can get stuck with ideas for breakfast and resort to heaps of packaging. Now, I know everyone here, most people here have Thermomixes, and we're always trying to avoid packets and jars and things, so we thought we'd focus on breakfasts today. And you know, sometimes it's a bit tricky to know what to make, and also if you've got kids who are very, very fond of the cardboard boxes. I know one of my daughters is very fond of the mini wheats with the fruit in there. So last year she was all about smoothies, banana smoothies. So I was in heaven. I was so happy. There were no boxes, but at the moment, so she goes through stages. So I've got to try and get her onto something else, hey? So I'm going to try out some of those breakfast bars that Heidi was telling us about just before. And today we're going to give you some ideas on, so see if I can move my camera down a little, on how to bring in some really fresh things into our breakfast. Like I've got some really great ingredients in front of me. Who loves a warm breakfast? Donna was asking about warm. Yes. Exactly. So I'm going to be talking all about warm cooked breakfasts, and we're going to see some other types of breakfasts as well. And I also would love to show you something that I do sometimes is a smoothie jar. So one of my favorite fresh, healthy smoothies is the green smoothie from the basic cookbook, and I'll bring that up when we look at cookie dough later. But if you want to save yourself, you know, a bit of time, literally probably 3 minutes in the morning, and make it easy for yourself, you could make yourself up a prep jar and put everything in. So all you have to do in the morning is open it up, tip it in the Thermomix, add some water and ice, and blitz it for a minute. This has got like orange, apple, parsley, mint, cucumber, ginger, lemon. So it's real refreshing. So you can just have it on an empty stomach to have a nice cleansing drink when you feel like something like that. Maybe not in the winter time though. So pretty good for spring and summer. And maybe in January, yeah, when you're detoxing after Christmas. So that's what I call a green smoothie jar. You can do other preps like that. So you might look at that at cookie dough as well. So overnight oat jars and different things like that that you can prepare the night before, chia puddings and things like that as well. But preparing the night before or the day before is always handy. For me, one of my favourite breakfasts is a cooked. It's something I do. I put it in a lasagna tray with eggs. So it's a tomatoey dish. We're going to be doing it similar now today. It's a tomatoey dish with beautiful spices and capsicum as well, and onion. And we cook that mixture in the Thermomix. I pour it in a lasagna tray for me to make it easy, and I crack 12 eggs on top, cheese on top, and bake it. Now, the actual recipe is saying to put it into little pots, and I'm like, nah, I'm just going to put it all in a lasagna tray, make it all together. But that one is from another cookbook with copyright on it, so I'm not going to show you that one today. So instead, I found a similar one in cookie dough. It's called steamed eggs in tomato sauce, and it's I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but shakshuka. Shakshuka. If you can pronounce it properly, let me know. And so there's a few of them in cookie dough. We'll send you all the links, and I'll pop it up in a moment once I get my cookie dough account connecting properly. And I'll pop the link in there unless someone else can. My cookie dough's having a problem. Anyway, so what we'll do, And instead of, because the one I was telling you about originally is baked in the oven, and then you've got enough for either a large amount of family members or single portions for you to heat up the next day to serve, and you can serve that with greens and avocado and things like that. See you guys, have a great day. Talk soon. So I usually do it, and then I actually heat up maybe 2 portions or whatever, and have it like that. I'll show you what that looks like. But this particular one isn't done in the oven, it's done in the Varoma. So I'm going to give that a go, and I'll see which one I prefer and report back. So I haven't done this dish before, this particular one. Let's give it a go. It is from America. Thank you. Thank you, Donna. Donna's popped it in the chat box for us. So when I looked it up, there are a number of shashushka, that's how I'm going to pronounce it, in cookie dough. Let's press start cooking. And it's getting me to say put a piece of parchment, so into your Varoma. So let's have a look. Now, I don't buy baking paper anymore. I use stuff from the mix shop, like our, when I need alfoil, I'll use a tray liner. Grab one, here it is. A tray liner instead of alfoil, things like that. I try and not use baking paper. So today I'm going to have to, though. I'm going to have to buy some soon because it's getting a little bit tricky. Today, when I realised I had no baking paper, I found some that I've used before, and I'm like, yep, that will do the trick. So I do reuse my baking paper several times until it's unusable. All right, so it's saying to make it fit the Varoma tray. Now this is extra long. So normally what I do is I will pull it out of the baking paper, and we only really need a small amount. So we'll imagine I'm pulling that out. We don't want to cover, when you're steaming things, making omelettes and things in your Thermomix, we don't want to cover these steaming holes there, because else the steam can't get in and cook your eggs and your omelettes and whatever it is you're cooking up there. So just keep that in mind, because I'd love to hear if anyone has cooked an omelette in their Thermomix, in the Varoma. I'm going to pull you down just a little. And what I want to do is make sure I'm covering it a little bit, because I don't want the egg to fall down. Might get my scissors. You don't want the egg to slide down, but you want enough steam to get in. So there we go. I'm hoping that'll be all right, because this piece has been used before. It might have shrunk. All right, so what we normally do when we are putting the baking paper up, it's really good to wet it and scrunch it up because it will sit better. So I'm going to do that now. Scrunch and wet. There we go. And then it's much easier to get into the shape that you want it to be in, ready for your wet mixture to be steamed. There we go. So this is the same process for any omelette or things like that you're going to make. So I've popped it in there, I've wet it, so now it's sitting in there nice. Ideally, I would normally have that one not covering over the edge, but I want to make sure my mix is going to fit in there. Then I might actually cut it a little bit to make sure the steam can get in. All right, so, and it's telling me actually to do that. Scrunch it up and set it in there. And it's saying ensuring steam vents at upper edge remain clear. Yeah, we'll do that. Insert prepared Varoma tray into the Varoma. So those who don't have a Thermomix yet, this is the steamer. It's going to sit on top like that and steam above our mixture that we're making. Now, we'll pop that aside because we've got that all ready to go for when we put our mixture in. And our Thermomix has brought the scales up, and it's asking for some olive oil. Now, this particular recipe is from America. So my Thermomix has turned over to ounces automatically for me, which is really handy. Let's see if we can see that a little bit better. So it's popped, it's asking for 1 ounce of olive oil. So it's probably about 20 grams, I reckon, judging by how much I just popped in. So I'm asking for 2 tablespoons of harissa. Now, I told Heidi and Donna that I was going to make that when I realized I needed harissa paste. I was going to make it. Didn't get enough time to make it before the class when I realized I needed it. I was very ambitious. Is anyone else like me where you refuse to buy a paste, you want to make it yourself? That was me. That was me this morning. I'm like, quick, look up a recipe. And I even went and bought like 200 grams of red chilies for it. In the end, when I realized I was running short on time, I'm going to be using tikka paste for a bit of a kick for our red sauce that we're making. So I'm going to use that instead. This is a beautiful tikka paste that's made from cookie dough, and we use that usually in curries and things. So I'm going to do that today, and I will make my harissa paste. Mark my words. I've got all the ingredients ready, and I'm just going to grab a spatula. There we go. Let's pop our harissa paste in. This is going to, well, it's tikka paste. It's going to give a nice kick to our tomato mixture. Now I've got a little bit of tomato paste. Now tomato paste I do make in summer, but the rest of the year I don't. I actually do buy that one. That's how I get all my jars. But in summer when tomatoes are plentiful, I certainly make it. All right, and we want some some capsicum. So I've just chopped it up roughly. Going to whack that in. That's 1 red capsicum. And we want some garlic cloves, lots of garlic. That's going to be yummy, right? Who else likes tomatoey, eggy things like me? A little bit of ground ground cumin. So a teaspoon of that. And so we're making a beautiful flavour up now. A little bit of sweet paprika, teaspoon of that. And a teaspoon of salt. And we'll pop the lid on and we're going to cook that. So, no, we're not going to cook that just yet. We're going to chop up the capsicum. Surprised there's no onion in there. You could always add a little bit of onion or a shallot. So Thermy's telling me 3 seconds. It's got on the clock for us already. And it's suggesting speed 5 for us. So let's do that now. Now remember, you're in charge, so you can change that. If you did put in onion and you wanted to chop it differently, you can change the time and the speed, no worries. But look at that, there's our garlic and capsicum all chopped up beautifully. And that's smelling amazing, especially with all that beautiful tikka paste. So just going to scrape that down. Now, if you'd like to chop it a little more, you certainly could. So we can always jump out of our recipes and, you know, do our own thing. We're not stuck. It's just a guide, but a very, very, very handy guide at that, isn't it, ladies? Guided cooking's amazing because you don't, if you get distracted, you can still cook things. It's got 8 minutes on the clock. It's got about 120 degrees. It's saying 250 Fahrenheit, but it looks like 120 because it's right at the top. And it's speed 1. Now I'm going to press preview to see what's coming up. It's asking me for some diced tomatoes, so I'm just going to pop those in. Let's have a look what else. And then we're going to cook that for another 10 minutes. Interesting. Ooh, and then so I was thinking, why aren't we cooking something at the top? Then we're going to put that tomato mixture, of course, in our varoma that we prepared. We will crack some eggs on top and we're going to steam that. So this is going to be a new recipe for me as well. Usually I would bake it with some cheese on top. It's delicious. So let's see what it turns out with your aroma. Really handy for those people that don't want to use as much electricity, so save money and don't put your big oven on, or your oven might be hot in summer. Use your Varoma. You might be in a caravan. Use your Varoma. So you might be renovating. Use your Thermomix. You don't need an oven or a kitchen. So makes everything easy. Got a small kitchen, perfect. So there we go. We'll let that cook, and while that's cooking, we might go over and see Heidi, who's going to be making some beautiful smoothie bowl for us. Over to you, Heidi.
Hello, am I muted?
Nah, you're all good.
Yay. Okay, yes, I'm going to make a smoothie bowl as well as some carda, which I'm not sure everyone, I feel like everyone should know about carda. It's been around for a long time with Thermomix. So basically a breakfast muesli, and it uses 4 ingredients: coconut, almond, dates, and apple. So super easy. Just basically put it in a pot. Lasts for a few days in the fridge once you've made it. You can put it on your yogurts. You can eat it just like that. My mum used to actually make a variation of this. She didn't call it carda, obviously. She didn't use coconut, but she used to put oats in there as well as orange juice, and then a big dollop of cream on top. And yeah, she used to call that muesli as well, and that's really delicious. It's got a bit of orange juice, which is kind of nice. But anyway, here we're going to make carda, which is fresh muesli, according to Cookie Do. Very easy. We'll start. Oh, they asked for fresh coconut. I don't have the fresh coconut, unfortunately. I never seem to get good fresh coconut here. Got the desiccated or just the slivers of coconut instead. That's fine. Raw almonds, 40 grams of that. Pop those in. 40 grams of pitted dates. I've got the medjool dates. They're my favourite ones, nice organic ones if you're lucky enough to get them. 1 apple of choice, cored and cut into quarters. And here's one I prepared earlier. It's big apple, so I don't know, it might be a moist carda this time, but that will go in. Simple as that. Put the lid back on and we'll blitz it briefly for, hang on, 1 second on turbo, or 2-3 times, depending on how fine or how chunky the apple was. So we'll see how we go. I think we'll need more. I often go by sound when I'm blending or chopping onion. I think I could do with 1 more. It's still a bit chunky. We'll have a look at that. Okay, now I can't get out next. Let's have a look. And I think that's looking all right. So I'll scooch this out and move along to our next part of the recipe, which is not a cookie dough recipe. So, excuse me for a minute, I'll scooch this out. I'll use the same bowl. I don't think there's any need to actually wash it. All in the name of breakfast. It's all going to be together in my belly at some point. Besides, who wants to do more washing when it's not needed? No. All right. Right, beautiful. That's a nice looking card, actually. Right. My next recipe. There goes my bits. Is coming out of a book. I suppose I should mention the book because it's not cookie dough, and it should be. It's a really beautiful book, Whole by Natural Harry. A lot of really nice natural recipes in there. She just uses food processor, and perfect when you've got a Thermomix. So this recipe I'm going to do is a purple. Actually, I should show the photo of that too. It looks absolutely stunning. I don't know if mine's going to look as beautiful as that. But that's the idea. That's what I'm going to aim for. Now, when you're buying purple sweet potatoes, don't do what I did yesterday. I wasn't thinking. I found the purple one, picked it up, peeled it, and thought, oh, this isn't so very purple. I read the fine print a bit more, and they said, no, you've got to go buy the white ones. They're called Okinawana sweet potatoes. Sorry, my Japanese isn't so good. They're either from Japan, or they're also called Hawaiian sweet potatoes. They're really chockers full of nutrients, which is why I suppose it's nice to go that way sometimes. I've never made this recipe with the orange sweet potato, but I can imagine it tastes quite nice as well. But anyway, this is just a variation on a muesli or something. We want something a bit more hearty to keep you going with a breakfast. I thought a bit of sweet potato, a bit of oomph to get me going in the day. So we'll start with, it's a very simple recipe. Oh, here's my Okinawana. I'll get it one day. It's a very white looking sweet potato. And the inside, once it's cooked, looks like that. So definitely purple. All right. So basically, we put all the ingredients in, we blitz it up, and hopefully turn to a nice smooth breakfast. We'll pop this in. We've got 2 frozen ripe bananas, some coconut yogurt, 60 grams of that. And 1 lime juice. And simple as finding the lid in my kitchen, which is a bit chaotic at the moment. All right, I better skip out of this because we're not in that recipe anymore. We'll go manual mode, and I'm not sure how long I'll need. There's a bit of banana that might need blending, so I'll leave it for about maybe 15-20 seconds. We'll see how we go on speed 8.
And it was Okinawa is a island in Japan. I lived in Japan, so I'm imagining the word that Heidi was trying to say is Okinawa. Possibly.
Yes, I figured Jess would probably be better at saying that one.
They love sweet potatoes in Japan, and actually, in fact, the all-you-can-eat sushi places, sushi trains, actually have as one of the desserts cubes of sweet potato drizzled in like maple syrup as one of their dessert options.
Yum! All right, now this looks incredible. Really beautiful, light purpley, which then I will serve with some carda. You could also top some with some oats or other homemade dried muesli if you wanted to. You could put some frozen fruit, fresh fruit on there. I've toasted up some coconut, which I did yesterday. I think I left it in a tiny bit long, just sort of hard to tell. There's rapadura and a bit of cinnamon mixed up together with that, and I've toasted that, so I'll sprinkle some of that on at the end, hopefully be nice. And I think I do have some frozen blackberries, which might defrost by the end for me to enjoy on my purple smoothie. Do you want to see the bowl now, Jess, or just flick back later?
You can make the bowl up and we'll have a look later if that suits you better, I reckon. If you plate it up for us and we'll have a look. The colour is amazing. Imagine all those nutrients. And I almost feel like having it warm. Is it meant to be a cold one?
It is meant to be a cold one, but I do like warm breakfasts. But yeah, it's almost like a soft mashed potato in consistency.
Yeah.
Really soft mashed potato.
Oh, I can't wait to see what it tastes like, Heidi.
Yeah.
You plate it up and we will come back to you when you're done. And if Donna's available, we might jump over to Donna. I will just spotlight me for a little bit until Donna comes back. Oh no, here she is.
I just
Awesome.
turned the frying pans off. I've just been frying up some pancakes. I'll show you what I've got so far. So I've just been making the American style pancakes on cookie dough. It's my favorite pancake recipe. I do make it gluten-free. I just do a straight swap for gluten-free plain flour. And I've made them lactose-free as well with lactose-free milk. You can make them with any dairy-free milk also. And the butter I use is Nuttalex anyway, so that's already a dairy-free substitute. I'm just going to use my hands because I'm eating them. So I've made a couple of sizes because I've got my daughter here, so I've got some little ones. And they're quite warm, so I'm not going to be able to hold them for long. I'm just going to pick up the thermoserver. Look at that. So I've left them all in the thermoserver. I like putting them in the oval one just because I can spread them out. But in the round one, you can just stack them straight up. But look at that. They are so light and fluffy. They are absolutely delicious. So that is going to be my little treat in a minute. We do make these not too often that they're not special, but we probably make them every couple of weeks on a Sunday morning. I've got my maple syrup out. I'm going to go get a lemon and do some lemon and sugar on some of them as well. And I even will eat these cold afterwards. So if there's any left, which there will be, it's only me and the 4-year-old home, I'll pop them aside in a container and I'll eat them cold, kind of like how you'd eat pikelets, I suppose. So I'll just put a bit of butter on them or some more maple syrup and then just kind of gobble them up. So a great, real quick and easy. I've just made the batter while Jess and Heidi were talking, and I've nearly finished cooking them all. So I've only got probably about 3 more that I'll make, but I'll get back to that in a minute. But now, pop that aside. They smell amazing. Maybe I won't make the smoothie. I'm just going to sit here and eat. No, I'm joking. Now I'm going to make a breakfast smoothie. This is breakfast on the go on Cookie Doo. I have it saved in my week. Breakfast on the go. This one is a family favorite. We make this so often. It's just full of great nutrients and it's exactly that. It's breakfast on the go. Chuck it in a like a takeaway cup and go out the door, or drink it while you're getting ready for work or for school, which my kids do. So let's get started. The first recipe ingredient in this is rolled oats. Now I am gluten intolerant. I'm not gluten free. I'm actually testing these oats that are wheat free. I've been trying little bits lately with no major reaction. So if you're celiac, don't do it. But these are wheat free oats. So if you're just intolerant, maybe worth giving it a try. There's only 30 grams in the whole recipe, and it's divided up amongst 2 cups. I'm not going to drink a full cup anyway, just in case. So I haven't done this with these oats before. I normally make it for the family, and I skip oats for myself. Anyway, 30 grams of rolled oats. And in there as well was the next ingredient, which was a teaspoon of linseed or flax seeds. So I've added that in, and we're just going to mill them up quickly. Pop the lid on. We got 20 seconds on speed 10. It might blank me out, Jess, but you got 20 seconds.
20 seconds. Alrighty. Now I have finally got my cookie dough sorted out. I needed to reset my password. So I will share some of our other suggestions as well for other fabulous smoothies and other smoothie bowls as well, because we've got stacks of amazing smoothie bowl recipes like what Heidi was doing. Actually, there's the 20 seconds done.
All done. So that was just the oats and linseed, and 20 seconds, and you can see how finely that is milled. So I just love how powerful this is. You can mill all your own like nuts and seeds. It is perfect. All right, 1 ripe banana is one I prepared earlier. Chuck that in. It's really quick. Even if I didn't have some of these ingredients prepared, I don't have the rest of them prepared. It really is quick and easy. Next ingredient is 250 grams of almond milk. Again, you can use milk of choice. I'm using just my standard lactose-free milk. 250 grams. I have done this with rice milk before. I haven't done almond milk personally. I'm not a big fan, but for those that like it, go for it. What's so versatile about this? 2 teaspoons of cocoa powder. I'm going to have to get the lid off my cocoa powder. And I love these rose gold measuring spoons. They are amazing. They're so pretty. the mix shop ones as well. 2 teaspoons, make it a little bit chocolatey. Might have been a bit more, that's okay. A teaspoon of vanilla paste. If you don't have the paste, you can just use your essence. I'm going to estimate it's about that. And you can make your own as well, just remember that. I haven't done it yet, so I should. 10 grams of honey. Again, I normally use rice malt syrup, but I'm going to do honey. My daughter's not well at the moment, so I'm trying to get as much honey into her as possible. She is just living off of honey and milk and honey and lemon to try and combat a nasty cough. So if you hear it, I'm sorry. 10 grams, tablespoon of nut butter of choice. This is optional. If you wanted to make it nut-free and you didn't do almond milk at the start, sorry. Just don't add it. You can also make your own nut butter. There is peanut butter recipes on Cookie Dough, and then you're not adding all those nasties that this one has. It's just peanuts, which is perfect. So tablespoon of nut butter, and you don't have to use peanut butter. You can do a cashew butter. I'm sure you could make a nut-free butter as well, doing like sunflower seeds, for example. Get in there. All right. On that, I'll pop that aside. And then ice cubes. Let me see what I've got. I had to freeze them. I remembered at about 9:30 that I had my ice cubes. So luckily, I think we made some. I'm going to be close. I've got another container. Close. Just get the other one because I think 24 grams. All right, hang on. Yeah, so you want to make it for breakfast, make sure you have ice cubes ready to go. Unless you've got one of those fridges that makes ice, which is cool. There we go, all I needed. A couple extras. And that's it. I'm going to blitz that up when I find my lid. Can I put the lid? There it is. Sorry, I'm suffering with a severe headache and I'm not thinking straight. Pop the lid on. 40 seconds, speed 10. Back to you for a minute, Jess.
Excellent. Right? Yep, all good. That sounds like such a healthy smoothie as well, with all those added nutrients that we can pop in there. Thank you so much, Donna. And it's great to hear that your kids like that as well. And we can always sneak in extra nutrition. When I was doing my banana smoothies for my daughter when she has a term of a different breakfast. So her banana smoothie stint, I would always put in extra goodies like linseed seeds and cashew nuts, and you could even put in an egg if you'd like to as well. So it's great that you can pop extra goodies in. You could put a multivitamin powder in or super powder in if you wanted to. Now this is cooking away. I did add a tin also of tomatoes. It did require a double tin, you know, those big tins. So I used a bit of passata to make up the weight. So that's the only problem with American recipes. Sometimes you don't know how much 28 ounces of tomatoes is. Luckily, though, the Thermomix told me. This is cooking away, and next thing we're going to be, I've just got 6 eggs that I've popped in to some cups. I'm going to pop them in. I'm going to steam it. But I'd love to share with you something that I often do as well for either a brekkie or brunch for one. So I work from home, so I'm often cooking for one or have meals prepared that I can reheat for one. Now, I'm just starting to peel a bit of sweet potato because I want to show you one of my favourite things to do. Let me see, we need a steamer basket. Here it is. So if I'm just cooking for one or two, could be 2 of you, something I do is I pop 2 eggs in a basket, a few slices of sweet potato. We've got a sweet potato theme today. And then a bit of kale or spinach from the garden. And so basically we're going to just slice, and then I just steam that on top of water in the Thermomix. I do it for about 12 to 13 minutes or even 14 minutes, but it's usually all done in that time. I'm going to slice this into thin slices. Might even use one of my new knives. So Thermomix has gone and designed some new knives. But we didn't really have knives before. Now, these are a mixture between Chinese and Japanese style, and the steel, I believe, is Japanese. This is the big one, the cleaver one. It is absolutely amazing. Super duper sharp, and yeah, you wouldn't want to drop that on your feet. It's designed by Thermomix, available in the mix shop. Now I'm losing a battle of room on my bench here, so I'm not going to slice that up in front of you now. But we've got this big cleaver, and we've got the smaller one as well. They're both available on the mix shop. So and I reckon they would be in the 20% off sale. We have 20% off most things in the mix shop, including our vacuum cleaners as well. This is the smaller one, so you can see the size difference. It's a fairly significant size difference. So this one's really designed for a smaller one that's easy to chop. This one just glides through your vegetables as if it was butter, I've been finding. Alrighty, so what I would do is just put a few slices of the sweet potato in and a few leaves of kale or spinach. Steam that, like I said, up on varoma temperature, and then I would serve that with a bit of avocado, maybe some salad, and there you go. There's a really quick and easy breakfast or brunch that's taken you a minute to prepare. Then you'll cook it for about 12 to 14 minutes. So hopefully that idea is good for you guys, and I'll write that in the email, the actual method. Let's see what we're going to do now. So we're just going to blitz that just for a second. Make sure the measuring cup's on. We're just going to stir that around a little bit. And then we're going to pop, pop it into the varoma tray. And we're going to steam there. Let's get my egg carton out the way so I've got a little bit more room. Okay, let's have a look. And we're going to put the eggs in there, pop some water. All right, so I'm just going to make my life a little bit easier. And I'm going to pop, I've got water in here. I'm going to steam that up. So this is why often, say if I'm doing this dish, I sometimes take it camping or something like that. I'll have this tomato mixture already made. Take that with me. And then all you do is pour this into your dish, pop the eggs on, cheese, oven, done. Feed a crowd or feed yourself for many days, like I've said. But we're doing this one all in one go now. So I'm going to, and we're going to steam it. Got the water in there. I'm just going to, eggs. All right. I'm going to put it on there because I feel better having it up there rather than doing it down here and then trying to lift it up there with the eggs and all that in there. So we're going to pop that there. And like I said, I'm going to just cut this so that the steam definitely gets in, but I'm going to make sure my mixture fits in nicely first. So let's pour this in. This is what it's looking like. It basically looks like tomatoes. It smells amazing with those flavors. You could add other ones, like you could add fresh thyme or whatever as well, whatever you would like to add. There we go. That's fitting in nicely. Good. Just going to scrape out a little bit more. There we go. Scrape that out. Get all the mixture in. Alrighty, and I'll do a pre-clean. Thermi loves cleaning itself, so I'll do a pre-clean on that afterwards. And I'm just going to get it off my lid because there's actually a fair bit on there too. Waste not, want not. Speaking of, at the moment with the TM6, we have a special purchase gift, which is our waste less, cook more cookbook, and that's what Thermomix is all about. So I'm sure this cookbook is going to be popular, really, really popular. 13 recipes have already been released on Cookie Do, and the rest of the cookbook will be released later in the year. I highly recommend you getting one of those because it's so handy, all the different ideas on how to save money by not wasting things. I'm just going to pop these in. I think it was 6 eggs. So let's have a look. I'm just going back. And I'll just check this full recipe. So while you're cooking, you can actually check your full recipe just to double check things. 6 large eggs. All right. Let's do it. Let's do it, girls and guys. It did suggest using the back of a spoon to make a little hole, and that's what I do when I do it in my lasagna tray. But this mixture's not really letting me make an indent. All right, we'll try our best. This is fun. Oh, there we go. 6 eggs going in. Like I said, you could increase this recipe, and I probably should have made a little bit more room in my just fitting. Whoa, it's so close. So maybe for you guys, if you're going to do this one, put maybe like I was going to do, make your baking paper a little bit longer on this end, but make sure you've got that gap here to let the steam in, and you should be fine. It's just fitting. So I'm just going to cut, make sure the steam can get in, but it's really, really, really high. Okay.
Just wanted to say it would depend on how big the eggs are as well, because you can get your smaller eggs and your larger eggs. If you've got larger eggs, obviously they're going to take up a lot more space. That could be why. Look at that.
And I did buy, I think they're the jumbo eggs. So I'm going to pop that lid on, guys, and hope for the best. There we go. Alrighty, let's go back to the recipe. We just press continue, and we're going to set that going. Now, if you wanted to save time, then you could put boiling water in there. Say the kettle was already going, boil your water, and then you're going to save a bit of time because the Thermi doesn't have to heat to boiling. So I've just got a little bit of water in there, like minimum, which is 500 mils. So you don't want to be heating up a litre. It's going to take longer. I've got 500 mils, and it's on Varoma temperature. It's got 11 minutes, speed 2. So actually, I'm just thinking here, I could have the steamer basket in there, and I could be cooking my sliced sweet potato. Wouldn't that be good? And some spinach. If I didn't have to lift that off, I totally would put that in. So that's a good tip for you guys. Add some spinach, add some sliced sweet potato, about 1/2 centimetre wide, not too wide. It's not going to cook in time. It will cook if it's less than a centimetre, like about 1/2 centimetre. Then you will have the perfect breakfast with your cooked greens and your sweet potato and your eggy bake, and you will be putting it on a plate. So I've got my plate half ready. I've got a 1/2 an avocado. My eggy bake will go there. My sweet potato will go in there too, probably. So that is that one. Now, I reckon Heidi has got hers to show us, and we're going to look at cookie dough, covering some of the things that we haven't demonstrated today. We really wanted to share with you as breakfast ideas. All righty, Heidi, what have you got for us?
Okay, I've got the carder. I've got my silky, smooth sweet potato. I can now, and I've got, I thought they were blackberries, actually mulberries, and there's some toasted sweetened coconut flake on top. And I had a little taste before, and it's really beautiful. I did drizzle a little bit of maple syrup on top, but the texture of this sweet potato is just really, really soft and silky. It's a satiny texture. Works really well with the crunch. So I do advise maybe some toasting up some nuts or some coconut or whatever. That definitely works. And the carder just worked beautifully together with it as well. So
oh, beautiful. Can you come up closer to the screen for us? Oh, beautiful. It looks like ice cream.
I should try it warm one day. I will try it warm one day because it's lovely like this. It's chilled because of the frozen banana. But I think it might be nice warm. I don't know. I'm going to try it one day.
And the berries, delicious. And thank you so much for showing us Carter, which is an iconic recipe from TM31 days. So thanks, Heidi.
Oh, pleasure. Thank you.
I might share our cookie do screen and just cover a few more recipes as well. That we have.
Can I just show you the smoothie quickly?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Sorry. Someone's waiting very patiently.
Sorry, I didn't spot you there.
Okay. Hang on, let me just fix this. And just ignore if you hear any coughs. So she's already eaten the pancake. What did you think of the pancake?
I haven't eaten one.
Oh, you haven't eaten all of it yet? Yeah. So she's had hers with lemon and sugar. I've got mine here ready to go. And then I'm going to have some maple syrup. But let's make all these breakfast smoothies so you can stop with the funny faces. Have a look. I bet I'll hold this up a bit so you can see it at the same time. There we go. Is that enough for you? I'll take that as a no. All right. You want to pull up? Yeah, you've been very excited about this. So there we go. Have some. You can let everyone know what you think.
How is it, Ruby? Is it yummy? And this is one of the great things about our business is we can work from home when we are sick or when our kids are sick. We can drink our smoothies when our kids won't. I get camera shy.
Run away. That's good. That's really yummy.
Awesome. No worries. Thank you. You enjoy that smoothie. And
I've got another glass.
We will have a little look here. Now, I'd love to show some of the recipes that we were talking about today. So the one that I'm doing at the moment is this first one, the steamed eggs. So that's that one. I was contemplating doing this pea one. That's why I've got some peas ready. Got asparagus ready. So that's a very similar concept. As you can see, really highly rated as well. 5 stars there so far. And this one's not American. It's I think it's Australian. Very, very similar concept, but different flavors. So instead of tomatoes, it's got the peas. Instead of the harissa, it's got the veggie stock. So there we go. There's that concept if you'd like to try green one. Look how beautiful it is plated up there. And then this one here is pretty much based on pretty much the cookie dough recipe that you could try if you wanted to do my idea with the sweet potato in the steamer basket. So you can see there, and I've just filled a steamer basket. I'm going to bring my camera over just a second. I'm just going to set my thermi going in the background, the second thermi, and see if we get that one done. I've got my sweet potato and my asparagus in there. So I'm hoping to show you that as well. So that was the abundant breakfast bowl. I've popped some asparagus, sweet potato and eggs in, and I think I put some baby spinach in. But you can pretty much put anything and do your varoma there. Oh, it's funny. We've got Tiff jumping in. Tiff couldn't present today, and I was just about to show Tiff's dish that she was going to do for us, but maybe she's been able to come on even with her missing voice. We'll see. Come off mute, Tiff, if you would like to present. There's the green smoothie that I was mentioning and showed that smoothie jar for. This is the one in the basic cookbook. And that's a really refreshing one. So you could have that at any time that you need some refreshing greenness in, if you feel like you need that. We've got this one. I was mentioning other jars and other things you could create the night before. So this one's really highly rated too. Look at that, 129 ratings with 4.8 stars. And you can see really healthy ingredients there. You can choose your milk of choice. You can choose, you've got berries, we've got rolled oats, chia seeds. And speaking of chia puddings, we've got a great chia pudding recipes in there as well. Just hit your search button and you'll be able to find those. I really wanted to do the sauteed mushrooms as well to put on the plate for you to show you guys, but instead I'm going to show you this recipe here. So this is a TM6 only. It's high heat. Yep, just making sure I was unmuted and you weren't just looking at the screen and no sound. It's a high heat one, so you're going to get your browning without burning. So this morning I was toasting some seeds. Next thing I was burning them, and I'm like, oh, I need to figure out how to high heat some seeds so I don't burn them. This is not going to burn. Your mushroom's going to come up beautifully, and imagine that on that warm breakfast plate of yours as well. So those are the ones I was keen to share with you today, and I would love to show you some of my favorite smoothie bowls. So in Cookie Doo, you can create your own collection. So I've got a breakfast collection. There's 33 recipes in there. So whenever I see something that I like the look of, I'll whack it in there. So I've got a mixture of smoothies, granolas. There's something similar to what the carder that Heidi showed. We've got nourish bowls. There's your chia pudding. This one's a great one because it cooks it and fluffs it up in the Thermomix for 15 minutes. So it's not an overnight one, it's instant. It's you can actually eat it immediately. If you want to do the overnight one, it's usually you whiz it up for like 5 seconds. But yeah, this one will give you instant, beautiful, creamy chia pudding there, and you can change the flavors. And you can see in here what else? Cooked breakfast waffles, pink scrambled eggs, porridges. There's another chia pudding. Oh, yum. The sweet rices and the rice puddings are amazing. We lived off that for a good couple of years when my kids were little, for breakfast and desserts. Either or. You've got your garlic mushroom recipe there. That one's probably all models. Yep, it's not high heat, so that one's delicious as well. I've done that one, makes a large amount as well. So lots of ideas, both quick ones like smoothies and the warm ones and the ones you can prepare beforehand. So there's Donna's one, and even a breakfast frittata, baked beans you can do with your Thermi as well. So that, if anyone wants to see my full selection, if this looks interesting to you and you'd like to know them, I could get you a copy of those. But I was aiming to show you my favorite smoothie bowls. Now I did them for a birthday party, so I just got to find it. It was Maddie's. So I just got to go down to M. If I still got it, Maddie's 15th birthday. Well, there we go. So I made these 3 different ones and had the mixture on a table for the teenagers to create their own smoothie bowls. I think I liked the idea more than they did. So maybe a bit younger, they would have been more interested, I think. But it's definitely a great idea, and also very good for breakfast. But these were really good. And then the kids decorated their own bowls with the little goodies on top. So I'd highly recommend all 3 of these if you're wanting to do a smoothie bowl. Otherwise, hit the search button, type in smoothie bowl. There are stacks more. All right. I will stop my share there. Thermi has rung. And there's Donna's. Hi, Donna. Alrighty, let's see what my Thermomix has created. Because it was such a big amount, I wouldn't be surprised if it needs a little bit more steaming, and that's okay. Let's have a look. Yep, it now says divide into bowls and garnish with parsley. I'll just have a little peek. So remember, when you're opening the varuma, open it away from you. Have a little peek. Ooh, the eggs look done. Yeah, it's well and truly done. So the eggs, the whites are all completely done. Much quicker than the oven, guys. When I did this in the oven, which I always do, it took a lot longer to make the egg whites cook. So that was actually really good. Alrighty. And we'll plate up, and I can just see you, Tiff. Did you want to say anything? Are you in a position to talk to us or not really? I'll go over to you while I plate up.
I've made the porridge.
Awesome. You're on.
I didn't make it on camera, but I ran out to the garden and fetched me one of my pumpkins. This is one of the reasons why it's my favourite porridge, is because we have butternuts growing, and we grew a whole heap last year as well. So delicious fresh pumpkin on a rainy day like today. It's so lovely. And I've cooked up a big batch of pumpkin pie porridge, and it's nice thick. Some of the porridges I find, I tried the spiced carrot porridge, and that was really yummy, but I would have added, I reckon, half the liquid that they asked to add, because I like my porridge quite thick, which this recipe is. It has chia seeds, so that helps thicken it up as well. And it has ginger and cinnamon and pecans, and maple syrup and dates and oats. It is delicious. I make it very regularly. I reckon like once every 2 weeks at least, if not more. And it's on, like I say, on a nice cold day, it's the most beautiful warming breakfast you can have. And it is very much, you just add the pumpkin and the dates and chop them up, and then add the rest of the ingredients, and it cooks. So I can get other things done in the morning while my breakfast is cooking. And both of my sons enjoy this as well. So my 1-year-old can eat it easily, which is fantastic. And that's about all, because I can't show you me cooking it. I can show you how much it makes. I've scooped out one bowl, and it's still got almost a litre still in there.
Awesome. I love how you've been able to go and pick your pumpkin from your garden to make it for your children.
Yeah, well, it was raining. I was like, I have to get my raincoat on and boots. Normally I just run up barefoot, which probably isn't the best on a farm. But yeah, this isn't even one of our biggest pumpkins. It's and it has 250 grams. I added almost 300 grams because I cut off a little bit extra, and it doesn't matter. But yeah, it grates it up and cooks it down, and I haven't had a child say, oh wait, there's vegetables in this. It's like the American pumpkin pie. It's got a sweet flavor to it because it has medjool dates. I don't add the maple syrup. I add it to my bowl, but not to the kids' bowls, just to save them on a little bit of sugar. It's because it's got cinnamon, which is naturally a sweet spice, and the pumpkin's quite sweet itself. It's yummy. It's really delicious.
Oh, I can't wait to try that one. Have you tried the apple and cinnamon type flavors on your kids?
Yeah, I've tried pear. There was a pear porridge that I tried as well, which they really like.
Yeah. Oh, good. And isn't it good because they're still young that you can they can grow up not having seen all those horrible cereal packets?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Thank you so much for jumping on, Tiff. I know you've got your hands full today with a slight change of plans. So thank you for jumping on and sharing that beautiful recipe with us.
No problem.
And your beautiful smile too.
Thank you.
Awesome.
My voice is almost gone.
Yes. Oh, you managed. And that's a great thing. As I said before, when Donna was with her daughter, like we can all work from home, no matter what's going on in the background. We can still run our businesses. So that's one of the things I love about our business. We are in direct sales, and that's amazing. We get to directly interact with our community and our colleagues, and we get to run our own businesses. So we are everything. We're cooks, we're chefs, we're like restaurants. We are marketing managers. We are graphic designers. We are finance people as well. We're everything in this role. So whatever you like doing, you can put it into this business. If you don't like doing some aspects, then you can get training and support from your team leader, and they can support you with it. So you don't have to do everything by yourself. These guys are awesome that have jumped on today. Tiff, Donna and Heidi have jumped on from our team. We've got a team of around about 20, with room for around about 2 or 3 more people in our team. And not everyone presents. You'll notice that. You don't have to present, but if you want to, then you can. It's lots of fun. I love working with these amazing ladies and seeing what we all, how we change, how we develop, how we grow. So thank you to Heidi and Donna and Tiff for jumping on today. Have you got any parting words, ladies? So we've gone a little bit over time. Sorry, everyone.
No, really delicious. I haven't finished it. It's really quite filling.
Oh,
so
good.
if you want something to fill the kids up with, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, really, really beautiful.
Awesome.
Yes,
We'll have to
any smoothie bowl that you can whiz up in here, good for breakfast. Just nice, colourful breakfast.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Heidi. And so quick, if you've got things pre-prepared, you can just whiz it up. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you in another edition of our cooking classes.
Thanks, Jess.
And Donna, any parting words from you? Lovely. Oh, I can't hear you. You're muted.
Sorry, there we go. I wanted to say that, yeah, the smoothie and the pancakes, absolutely delicious. Ruby's finished her whole glass of smoothie. There's a tiny bit left. Sorry, she just yelled out, I can't. She ended up taking the bigger glass because I had sips out of hers. She wasn't happy. I wanted just to add how you were saying about, how flexible the business is. We originally booked this knowing that my daughter would be at kindy, so there was no interruptions. Not that it matters. She's sick and has been for a couple of weeks, and any other job, I wouldn't have been able to continue doing it with her being unwell and a little bit under the weather myself. So I just love how flexible it is. And I'm in trackies, like, it doesn't matter.
And
so I don't want to say that.
Oh, thank you so much, Donna, for adding that in. And that's what I love too. I love working in my dressing gown and Ugg boots. And then 1 minute before the class, I put my shirt on. So that's the secret there. You can see I've got something underneath. So it's great. And then we do dress up and be formal as well when we have our events and things. So it's the best of both worlds. Love to show you just briefly before you jump off, and I understand if anyone has needed to leave. This is what we've got so far. So the tomatoey mixture I made, and the egg is there. I've got some beautiful bread underneath, avocado. And you might remember I just whacked on, while we're looking at cookie dough, I just whacked on asparagus, the sweet potato coins, and there's 2 eggs in there as well. So basically that was 1 minute prep, and that could be a lunch with some avocado as well. But I'm going to pop some of that on my plate as well to make it look a little bit fancy. And we haven't even touched things like béarnaise sauce and hollandaise sauce, but they are absolutely delicious as well, to add, obviously, poached eggs. My sweet potato is completely cooked and beautiful and soft for putting on my plate ready to eat. I'm going to pop a bit of the spinach on, and this is actually going to be my breakfast. I don't like early breakfasts. I don't feel ready for eating early. And So thanks for joining while I cook my beautiful cafe brekkie. You could put some dukkha on. I got some over there. Could sprinkle that on. This would be an $18 breakfast if I plated it up a little better. And this is the Varoma. So I've just taken one portion out, and so there's like at least 6 other portions there, and that's my plate there. So that's gonna be delicious, and I have to find 6 friends to eat the rest of it with me. Thank you. I'll just see if there's any questions. Awesome. Thank you, Raquel, for jumping on. I can see your comment there. And thank you, everybody, for jumping on. Jenny, Judy, Tina, and everyone else and Celeste. We look forward to seeing you next time. We've got more classes planning. Keep an eye on our link tree. And that's where we put up events about every fortnight. We add to it. There are some branch events that are coming up as well, including Easy Essentials on a Saturday during the day, the 4th of June. And we have a Winter Warmers class on a Tuesday night, the 14th of June. I will be at the Winter Warmers. We've got an in-person session in Walkerville on next Tuesday, the 31st. So if you would like to see the Thermomix in person or absorb some of the awesome energy from being at a thermo event in person, come along to that one. It's free as well. All of our sessions are free online. So hopefully this has inspired you, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Alrighty, and let us know if you wanted to join the team. We have business info sessions this Thursday as well. Better pop that one in right at the end. Press stop recording.